Greetings, fellow Cybertronians, and welcome to Transformers Comics Decoded, the show where I do a panel-by-panel breakdown of my Transformers comic book collection. I'm your host, Barnatron. We've got a lot to cover this episode, so let's roll out! Megatron Origin, Chapter 3. We open at an undisclosed location. We see Soundwave with a couple of unknown bots knocking on a door. As the door slides open, we see a bot monitoring security feeds. Soundwave appears to be covering something on his chest. They appear to have a brand new team badge. The bot informs Soundwave that the big guy's not in such a great mood. He's lost an arm. Soundwave inquires into Megatron's functionality, to which the reply is, he's as good as can be, for having one arm. You should see the other guy. We see a med lab filled with dismembered bots and Megatron in the middle. They're obviously using the parts from these bots to repair Megatron. Any parts that aren't scrap will be used. Replacement optic sensors. Fully functioning right arm. They will stop at nothing to make Megatron whole once again. Soundwave questions Megatron's request for a flight-capable combatant. Megatron's response, "You have one?" Negative. I present 3. Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Starscream. Starscream seems to fumble to find the right words. Megatron, I pledge my allegiance undying. Megatron seems pleased by this. You can fly? To this, Starscream begins to boast about their qualities, and says that they are honored to join him in the arena, to which Megatron cuts him off. The arena? No. He has something much better in mind for the three of them. Don't look so disappointed. You will wear my badge. And you will kill for me. In this time of change, we must all be flexible. He displays an awesome Energon mace as a part of his new upgrades. Starscream uneasily shows his understanding, and then Megatron orders to give them all upgrades. State Funeral Service, Memorial, and Internment. This service is for our 2 recon bots that met their untimely demise in the last issue. Sentinel Prime begins to give a eulogy of sorts. Losing one of our own is never easy. This is a great loss. But this is no tragedy. Sentinel proceeds to state that a loss of life is only a tragedy without purpose, and that purpose will present itself in time. He states that this moment has offered them a purpose. He may only be the head of security. He does not create policy. He simply enforces the law. The only question unanswered. He then pushes a button on his wrist, revealing his battle armor. Sentinel is clearly preparing for a battle, and he will allow nothing to stand in his way. The question is, what do we do with it? Official unveiling. Senator Decimus tribute recognizing outstanding dedication to the state and its people. Senator Decimus then proceeds to give an acceptance speech, which is quickly interrupted by the sonic boom of Thundercracker entering the scene. He flies fast and low right through the ceremony, causing a panic. As their attention is elsewhere, a bot begins to teleport in right behind Decimus. It's Skywarp, and he sees what he came for. He quickly takes out the Senator's personal security force. And just as fast, he acquires his target and teleports away. Which leaves the rest of the crowd confused and exposed for Starscream and Thundercracker's attack. As the 3 regroup, Skywarp gives the all clear. Starscream now begins to boast on how easy it was for them to accomplish their first objective. And then gives the order for the second objective. Mark it! Senator Decimus questions why, and Starscream replies with the old,
"If I told you, I'd have to kill you."
As they fly away, we see that they have left the mark of their new badge on top of the Autobot one. We now switch to Senator Ratbat reviewing security feeds. Industrial sector sabotage. Security forces meet resistance. Mass poisoning damages corporate prospects. Multiple devices discovered. Resource flow disrupted. Transport centers compromised. Has this gotten out of control? Senator Ratbat ponders his next move. Secret location. We switch to Sunstreaker, who seems to be trying to convince Sideswipe into joining him in the fights. Come on, it's me. I never lose. As we make it inside, we see that there are already bots lined up trying to make it onto the team. In fact, many bots have shown up. One bot seems to think this is an amateur night. Mostly. They are all there, ready for a fight. And some are even prepared to play dirty. We see Frenzy and Rumble complaining about something, to which Megatron tells them they have been modified for a reason. Megatron slams his fist into the wall to get his point across. He then gets that fierce look in his eyes. So, Soundwave it is! Megatron questions the completion of Starscream's task, to which the answer is, yeah, but I don't understand the why.
Just remember what we agreed. You could say, "We're sending a message."
As Megatron arrives, the bots all raise their fists high in anticipation.
"I want to ask each of you a question. Why are you here? You come from Tarn. You come from Voss."
The bots now all seem a little confused.
"Alta Hex, Urea, and Callus. We gather in Kaon. And so we bring our misery together, and we fight. We are the Forgotten, trying to forget. Forgotten, until you stand with a blade in one hand, a throat in the other. Then you remember, you feel it, you are alive. We can wear badges, join teams, fight and kill. Then the badges come off, and you crawl home. Assembled here, I see strength, power, the most dangerous Cybertronians alive. So, what if the badge never came off? What if our new arena was the entire face of the planet? What if there was one badge for all of us, and instead of fighting each other, we attack those that put us here, and we take what is ours?"
The crowd cheers with approval.
Would you have the bearings for that? Would they?
As he motions over to Senator Decimus being drug into the room.
Look at the fear, the self-interest, the loathing for us, loathing for what they have created, fear for what will happen. We are without fear, and we will make our mark upon the world. Why don't you all get started making an impression?
As we see the rage forming in the crowd's eyes, we hear someone giving out orders to his teams. It's Sentinel Prime, and he is ready for a fight. Red, blue, gold teams. Consider this your go code, as he blasts the head off a random bot in the crowd. Prowl then gives the order to move in. The room begins to fill with smoke. Panic begins to set in. They were clearly unprepared for this raid. Sentinel Prime orders his units to activate their optics and knock them down. Inhibitor claws and restraint nets, go! Megatron seems quick to devise a new plan. The raiding party is quick to spot him and do everything they can to take him down. Inhibitor claws and Class 3 restraints, now! Prowl cries out. Every bot that can get their hands on Megatron does their part to hold him down. They begin to put him into restraints.
Sentinel Prime, sir, we have him.
So this is Megatron, huh? The big bad himself? I don't see it. Megatron replies with a,
Keep looking.
and once again we get a close-up of those fierce, intense red eyes of Megatron's. I thought he'd be bigger, Sentinel exclaims mockingly.
Process him.
Kaon City, Autobot Security Headquarters. We hear a bot complaining about being over capacity. To which another bot replies, it's time to get creative, and then he continues to bark out orders. Starscream starts complaining to Megatron, stating that he's the reason that they're all in there.
Tell them something.
Megatron appears that he's about to say something, to which Starscream grins in approval. At that moment, another guard arrives, declaring that Soundwave is to be set free. The guard watching over them does not seem to be bothered by this news, until Soundwave to beat it. Another bot starts giving out orders to the other guards on duty. Starscream quickly gets the guard's attention. He needs to tell him something. Megatron seems to have his eyes dead fixed on the conversation.
You.
Megatron points to the other bots in the cell.
Kill him.
Starscream lets out a shriek of fear. Starscream is quick to scramble out of the cell once the guards come to get him.
Take me to the Senate. I have something that guarantees their future, and mine.
Boss, what did you tell him? Megatron pauses for a moment.
Everything.
What details are Starscream willing to disclose to save his own life? What lies in store for Megatron and his imprisoned followers? To be continued in the final chapter of Megatron Origin. That's it for this episode. Leave your thoughts and suggestions down in the comment box, and go ahead and click the thumbs up and subscribe buttons while you're at it. Be sure to tune in next time for another episode of Transformers Comics Decoded. This is Bartatron of the Cybertron Data Network signing off. Till all are one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.